yeah, let's get into it. What do I want to talk about first? Okay, so my first celebrity crush was Patrick Dempsey, who played, is best known for his role as Derek Shepherd on Grey's Anatomy, but he has been in quite a lot of movies, going way back to the 80s. He was also in Enchanted, Sweet Home Alabama, Maid of Honor, a lot of 2000s rom-coms. As far as what I seen him in first was Enchanted, because I was only like 7 or 8 years old, so I wasn't watching Grey's Anatomy at the time. But the first like thing that I seen him in was Enchanted, and when I tell you that I was in love with him, I'm not kidding. Like, my 8-year-old self was obsessed with this man, and honestly, like, I'm pretty sure that obsession lasted many years, and then like became even stronger when I started watching Grey's Anatomy later on. But yes, my first celebrity crush was Patrick Dempsey. It wasn't Zac Efron. Zac Efron was one of my first crushes, but he wasn't my first crush. Like, I remember seeing Enchanted before High School Musical. I was late to seeing both of them, but I saw Enchanted first. So yeah. Also, Disenchanted was amazing. I remember finding out that they were gonna do an Enchanted sequel in like late 2021, and like I was just so excited about it, and it came out in November of last year, and I honestly didn't have high expectations, just because I feel like even if you have the original cast, when you make a sequel that many years after the original, a lot of the times it just watch it. I rewatch the earlier seasons all the time. I I follow all of the OG cast on social media. I keep up with them. Yeah, I've always loved Dance Moms. It's always been one of my all-time favorite shows. I started watching it because my mom actually started watching it. I think she discovered it on accident, but my grandparents loved it too. Like, all of us loved Dance Moms. So that was like a show that all of us watched together pretty frequently. My favorite Dance Moms girl was Paige. I loved Paige. I thought she was adorable. She just had like the cutest energy. She was such a supportive friend. Obviously she wasn't the best dancer on the team, but she was my favorite of the OG cast. In terms of my favorite dancer was Chloe. I think that Chloe had like the prettiest turns, and she was just my favorite dancer. As far as if Maddie was better than Chloe or Chloe was better than Maddie, I don't know. Like, and I'm being truthful. I'm not just saying I don't know because I'm trying to not pick sides. I don't understand how so many people that have never danced a day in their life, who have never taken a dance lesson a day in their life, can say who they think is better and think that that's a fact, because everybody can have their preference. But the thing is if you know nothing about dancing, how do you even know what you're looking for to base who you think is better off of? You know what I mean? I have no idea. I genuinely don't. A lot of the times Abby would say that Chloe had technical issues. I didn't see that. I think that it was obvious that Nia and Paige had technical issues sometimes, but to me, Maddie and Chloe were on the same level. Like, there was no better. I think that Chloe's emotional execution was just as good as Maddie's. I think that, she was under way more pressure than Maddie because she was severely, well, not under more pressure than Maddie. Maddie was under just as much pressure, but in a different way. But I've never understood the comparison because I think that they're just as great. But again, I'm not a dancer, so I can't, it's not really my place to say anything anyway. Just like people who can't sing, who have never taken a voice lesson, who have never been involved in a choir or anything, will go on about how they hate a specific singer and how this specific singer can't sing, whatever that specific singer may be. And it's like, what do you even know? Like, just because you don't like them doesn't mean that they're bad. And that's the thing. Like, a lot of people think Chloe was a bad dancer compared to Maddie, and again, it's people who have never taken a dance class a day in their life, and it's like, how would you even know? Like, but yeah, I don't really keep up with Teen Mom. I feel like it's way too scripted now. I kept up with it until like season 7. And honestly, like, everybody on Teen Mom Teen Mom 2, I never really kept up with any of the other Teen Moms, but everybody on Teen Mom 2 just kind of gets on my nerves now. yes, she was still a single mother, but I don't know, the way she treated her parents just rubbed me the wrong way. Caitlyn, I actually do like Caitlyn. I don't have anything against Caitlyn. Brianna, don't even get me started on Brianna. She's just always trying to start shit with people. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I don't have any interest in keeping up with them. Like, it's really not something that I care about. Like I said, I do keep up with What show was I the most obsessed with? Like, in terms of, did I like the main character enough to like want the merch and stuff outside of the show? I'd say the show that I was the most obsessed with in that sense was Hannah Montana. I wanted to be Hannah Montana, like I was obsessed with her. And then it was Alex Russo. I honestly liked Hannah Montana or Miley Stewart technically, and Alex Russo equally. They had a lot of similarities in terms of like their character personalities, in my opinion. Like I feel like Miley Stewart and Alex Russo would have been good friends. Yeah, but I loved every Disney show. Well, not every Disney show, but by every Disney show I mean the ones that were the most popular in that era. So like Sweet Life on Deck, Good Luck Charlie, Wizards of Waverly Place, Hannah Montana. Well, by the time Good Luck Charlie was on, Hannah Montana was almost over, but y'all get the point. I absolutely loved Good Luck Charlie. What else? I don't know if anybody remembers Praying Stars. It was obviously heavily scripted and it was canceled after like 3 episodes. But I loved Praying Stars. It was a show that was hosted by Mitchell Musso, which is the guy who played Oliver on Hannah Montana. And it was basically where Disney stars would prank their fans. They did an episode with Debbie Ryan and an episode with Selena Gomez. I loved that show. I don't know why it got canceled, but I really liked that show, honestly. Ant Farm and Austin and Ally, I also loved. I feel like they weren't as great in the later seasons, but a lot of people think Austin and Ally and Ant Farm was like the downfall of Disney, and I disagree. I think the downfall of Disney was Girl Meets World and Liv and Maddie. Like, I did not like Liv and Maddie or Girl Meets World at all. I found it way too corny, and I feel like if you noticed, obviously Disney's always been corny, but Disney now is like an unbearable level of like corny humor that nobody really like. It's just not funny, you know what I mean? Like, it's the type of humor where anybody could have said that, and not in a good way that's relatable. And I feel like shows started to become that way on Disney in like the era of Liv and Maddie and Girl Meets World coming out. That's just my opinion. But yeah, oh, I love Friends, but I didn't watch Friends as a kid. I watched Friends as a teenager, and I was automatically hooked. I actually started watching Friends during a very difficult time in my life. Well, actually, no, I started watching Friends when I was 12, so I was still a kid, but I was almost 13. I started watching Friends when I was actually really sick with a condition that I hadn't been diagnosed with yet. And honestly, that was like my comfort show that got me through, that time. And I just remember like the theme song, even still to this day, the theme song makes me emotional because I remember the line, when it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, or even your year, I'll be there for you, really stuck with me and like just reminded me that my family, you know, was there for me through it all, you know. I don't know, Friends was just like a genuine comfort show for me because it was something that I found comfort in during a very dark time in my life. Jennifer Aniston, she's a hottie. Chandler, I did find Chandler attractive, but in terms of like what Also, why am I blanking on what Chandler's name is in real life? Matthew Perry. I can't believe he passed away. It's so sad. Like, I was shocked when I heard that. Shocked. Like, Friends is never gonna be the same again. Like, I'm never gonna be able to watch that and watch it and not get emotional. Like, it's just so sad. I've actually gotten into a lot of new shows this year, which is weird because I've never gotten into as many new shows as I have this year since I've been like a child, because I am the pickiest person ever when it comes to TV shows, movies, anything of that sort. It's very difficult for me to get into shows or movies. A lot of that is because I have severe ADHD, and I don't find, like, when it comes to TV shows today, I just find them too corny, like, regardless of if they're Disney or not. Like, I like to watch, like, 2000s shows, because I just feel like that's when, like, you know, TV was good. But, I got into SVU this year. Absolutely love SVU. I literally was so obsessed with SVU, like, and I still am, but I kind of burnt it out. I was falling asleep with it on, watching it all day, watching clips on YouTube, reading fan fiction. Literally, like, I ate, slept, and breathed Law and Order SVU. Let me tell you, okay, if you don't think Elliot Stabler and Olivia Benson are soulmates, don't talk to me. Just don't talk to me, because literally, I wish they were Endgame. Down to my bones, like, oh, that's like a painful ship, because, like, come on. It's been, what, 24? Yeah, 24 years. And they never even kissed. Why? Like, what is the point? And dragging it out that much, like, it's like they want to torture us. I also got into Desperate Housewives this year. I just realized I have not given anyone, like, the description of what these shows are about. I've just been talking about them, like, as if I'm talking to someone who has already watched them. I am so sorry. So sorry. Desperate Housewives was kind of like not a soap opera-y, but it was just like a drama about housewives and their lives. It was basically, I think the purpose of Desperate Housewives was to show that the picture-perfect family most of the time is not the picture-perfect family. Either their husbands were cheating, or, you know, their kids were out of control, or, you know, whatever the reason was, there was always something going on that was really stressful. And I absolutely loved Desperate Housewives, but I hated the ending because they all went their separate ways, even though they were friends, literally through thick and thin, through their children's entire lives. Pretty much their entire time that they were on that street, which was Wisteria Lane. But yet, they went their separate ways. It makes no sense. I recently got into House MD, which is funny because when I tell you, my mom's always liked medical shows, and my mom would watch House when I was younger all the time, and I literally, when I tell you, I was so easily traumatized as a kid. Like, I was terrified of this show as a kid. Terrified. I think what I found scary about it is on House, whenever, you know, they're trying to show what's wrong with the patient before they discover what's wrong with the patient. Like, they'll try to show what's wrong Olivia Wilde is stunning. Like, she looks like a supermodel. She just has the most gorgeous features. Like, she's just insanely beautiful. I love her character. I'm not a huge fan of her in real life just because she's kind of problematic, but stunning actress, to say the least. And it's sad that they made her character have Huntington's disease because she was my favorite character. Also the ending of House, which I haven't seen the final episode, but I know how it ended. Y'all, if you know how House ended, you know it was, the ending sucked. It sucked. It's like so many of my favorite shows, the ending sucked. Like, why do you do that? But yeah, I think I'm gonna end the video here because I've been recording for like 30 minutes and I need to film another video and it's like 3 a.m. So I gotta get to that. Anyway, thank you guys so